Are we go? Okay, we're going. And anyway, so all right. Uh, Hi guys, this is your girl A to B, your online beacon, and coming to you today, just as promised, I am bringing to you information on my online marketing journey because as I learn and take action, I promised that I would share. And besides, the information for this stuff is like everywhere, all across the web. So it's helpful to have somebody to, kind of just put it right there in front of your face. So, like I say, as the journey goes, I'll be sharing whatever I come across that seems to be valuable, seems to be helping, and if it's something that you might need to interject in what you're already doing or something that you might need to start doing, great. Go ahead and use it. So, one of the huge learning components that I have found amongst a lot of videos, a lot of books, and a lot of blogs that I have read is self-development. And one of the things that successful people like to bring up is that they've done a lot of self-development and they have adopted a lot of positive affirmations into their routine. Now, speaking of routines, Tony Robbins, this guy is stellar. I love listening to him speak. And one of the things that he was teaching on that I looked at recently was that we are creatures of habit. It's a natural thing for us humans to get into a routine. Now, once we get locked into the routine, guys, we're really locked. And we just keep on doing whatever it is because it becomes familiar. It's just what we know. So it's just something that we just do. Now, here's a thought though. What if some of these routines, some of these habits of ours are holding us back? Basically, we start looking at some things like, what would we like to change? Is there something that we want to have changed in our life? Something that we want manifested in our lives? And if there possibly is something of our routines, our habitual doings, that could be causing us to be held back. So when we end up growing into our routines, which becomes part of our friendships, our relationships, how we interact with people at work, how we interact with people just in general, these rituals or of this routine are woven into who we have become up until that point in our lives. So it's already there. It's crept up on us, and we don't even realize that these things are happening. But eventually, we may come across this lingering sense of, are we fulfilled? That there's something missing at some point or that or the other, and then we end up asking ourselves this question: am I happy? So ask yourself that question: are you happy? Looking at the relationships, the friendships, how work interactions are going, how just your interactions with people in general are going. Okay, so if this question comes up, there may be something that needs to change. So at this point, we may want to consider evaluating things to find things at this point or another where we don't really feel happy. Because there needs to be some correction that's made there if we do come across those things. Okay? So now, if we recognize what is making us unhappy and what we would like to change, now we've got to start really evaluating certain habits. Let's start looking into our rituals. What are we routinely doing that could be holding us back or locking us into position with this problem, this negative atmosphere, aura, this negativity that's happening in our lives? This part of the process, it may take a little time. It may take few or several interactions with whomever it is before we start to really noticing the trend. And if you want to do this, if it helps you, you can do how I did, where I started jotting down notes, taking note of telltale signs of when something might have seemed more hindering behavior than affirming and helpful behavior, because that's how you're going to start growing more of the positive things in your life, eliminating some of the negative. So after we feel we have enough to see that some of this is not, if not all of this, needs to be addressed in order for us to be happier, better, and living our best life, then we need to find in what ways we can change those hindering habits. Like, is there something I can do differently? Could I convey myself differently? Or maybe could I respond to what similar situations are happening? Could I respond to them differently? Are there any routines that you find that you're keeping up, but they're really bringing you down? If you do find them, then now that we've recognized what we want to change and we've recognized certain things that are happening that are making it difficult for us to make these changes, our next step is to start making a step. Steps towards the change that we've located that need to happen in order for that area of our lives to improve. So you can take small steps, you can take big steps. Just take a step towards changing your life for the better. A quick recap: write a list of what it is that you want to change, and then take note of what is habitually happening that is holding you back. And after that, let's start taking the steps towards breaking these routines so that we can live our best lives. So, out of my recent training, uh, just trying to grow in this marketing journey, self development, like I say, has been one major concept that I have come across amongst a lot of successful people, a lot of experts that have been offering their expertise. So, just to relay that information to you, just as I promised, this is your girl A to B, your online beacon, and I will be talking to you later.